crafty friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio. I'm DJ, and if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new here, I create junk journals, ephemera to go in your junk journals, and just paper crafting and a lot of fun. So if you like that sort of thing, then go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, I hope that I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, today we're working in the big book of junk journal ideas, and as fate would have it, I did an entire video and my phone died. And I don't know at what point my phone died, but it doesn't matter because I have to do it again. And that's okay because it was a lot of fun and I'm going to do it again. All right, so today is all about vellum, right? This sheet of clear paper, similar to tracing paper, but more heavyweight. And I know that it tripped me up a lot when I first got started. And I know it is something that is very polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. And if you're new, you may not know what to do with it, like I didn't know what to do with it. So I figured I'd give you a few ideas of things that you can do with vellum, and we'll put them in the big book of junk journal ideas again, because I already did it once. But I did do a component in here that I can't recreate it because it's done now, but I'll explain what I did. But anyway, yeah, so today's all about vellum. Let's get on to it. All right, so one of the first things that I do with vellum that I love so much is to create these fun little vellum, I don't know, accents. So I just cut some vellum. I have two pieces. I put something in the middle. It could be anything. It could be a dried flower. It could be some sequins that you shake up. I put a die cut in here that's black. That's my aesthetic. So yeah, and you can have things like this where you just kind of put them in your journal somewhere. So here are some that I did. These I glued in as pockets and tucks here. But you could just as easy put them down in your journal and glue them in. You could also just attach them with some washi tape, like so. So they're removable and repositionable, and you could move them around. So I sewed mine, but if you don't want to sew them, you could certainly glue them, and that would work as well. Just know that sometimes the glue does show through depending on what glue you use. I have found that my mix here of art glitter glue, PVA glue, and water, it's like half art glitter glue, a little more than half is PVA, and then whatever was left is water. It's not a science. I just made it until it was runny. But anyway, that doesn't seem to show through so much. So you can see I glued it here. This one I use the Fabrifix, but because it's 2-ply, you don't really see the glue on the top layer. So that's good. But you could just tape them in. All right, we're gonna go to this. So this is the one that I did where my video failed. But basically what I did was I took this page and I cut out a square that was a little smaller than my piece of vellum. So let's say my piece of vellum was this big. I cut my square just slightly smaller than that. I laid one piece of the vellum over the hole because I cut it out of the page. I laid one piece over the hole, and then I taped around it with washi, which is what you see here. Then I flipped it over. I put my birdie inside, and I didn't glue him down, so he's kind of taking action. He's moving all over the place, but you could glue it down if you want. You could also put sequins in here or something else. And then I put my other piece of vellum on top, and then I just put some more washi. So there's actually a hole in the page, and this is very translucent. You can see, let's see, probably one of these. You can kind of see like this through either side because of that. This, I put a word on a piece of vellum and put that down. So that's fun. So you can still kind of see whatever you put it on top of. So I like doing that. Some other things that I made were these tags. And these tags, I just tore the vellum. So I had a regular tag and I just tore the vellum on an angle. And then in my case, I sewed it on the 3 sides and I made a little pocket, and the pocket is see-through. So anything you put in it, you can also see. I think it's just like a fun little way to add some more visual effects to your journal. Here's another one that I did. This one I glued on 3 sides, and you can see here, you can see a little bit of the glue that came through, but I could take my ink or I could take a piece of washi and cover that if I wanted to. But I just put some words on this tag. I stamped it on top of the vellum. You can stamp the vellum. And then, yeah, I just glued it on 3 sides and put a little tag in there. And so we have that. This one, I put a piece of a die cut down, and then I put 1 piece of vellum over it and just sewed around it wonky and put a quote on there and made this really kind of crazy looking, but I love that. And yeah, so I made that kind of tag. And then this one is another one that has a vellum pocket, and I just did a little decor on top, but you don't have to put anything on there, and then you would fully be able to see whatever you put in there. But I just kind of like the way it looks. You could do this with tracing paper as well. So let's find where I had these. I think I put these. This one I didn't because I wanted to have it show. So we'll put that there, and we'll put that there. And we'll put that there. Just some ideas so I remember how to use some vellum. What else? Okay, so I showed you that. There was another thing that I did. I just gotta find it here. Hold on. Doop-dee-doo. Doop-dee-doo. Where are you? Ah, here it is. Okay, so I took a vellum envelope and take these out so you can see, and then I just filled it up with some of this collage fodder that I made. And I like to make these out of Amazon packaging and stamp them and just cut around them, and then they make cute little accents for your journals, and you get a chance to use your stamps. And you could use them in a variety of ways, but what I'm putting them in is this vellum envelope, and you can order these on Amazon, or if you have an envelope maker, you can just take a piece of vellum and make an envelope. And then it's see-through, so you can kind of see what you're storing in here. And then I put one of them on the outside so I know what it is, and I made it a tip-in. So I just put some washi on either side so that it flips up, and then I can have some journaling space or do some extra decorating on this side. So that's fun. So you can put anything in here, right? You could put a bunch of those Tim Holtz paper dolls. You could put some stickers that you like to use in your journal. It's just another way to kind of bring that see-through element with the vellum into your journal. And I just want to get this. I thought I had a paper clip for it. I do. I just want to clip this in so it has a home. Okay, so you can clip them in like that, or you could put them in a pocket if you want. You could glue it down and make it a tuck. What else? Oh, if you don't have vellum, you can use tracing paper. I did show you that here, right? But you could also use cereal box inserts, right? So you get your cereal. This is, I think it was maybe crackers or something else. But this works really well, and it sews really well. I did this bird with this. Now, that's glue you see on the other side, so I wouldn't necessarily put this so that it's this way. I would kind of maybe either sew it down into the journal or maybe use some washi to tape it down. But yeah, and it's less it's more transparent rather than vellum, so it actually works out really well. You can actually see a lot more through it, so that is another option. And if you don't want to sew, you can use washi to kind of seal. I'm going to put this one down so you don't see the side, but this was just a scrap I had. And you could use some washi to kind of seal your sides so that you don't have to sew. And then that can live in your journal as well. So we'll put this in here because that's a fun idea. And then these other ones I'm going to save because I do want to use them in a journal. Okay, moving on. We did that. Okay, so this was fun. This, I took a playing card. Actually, I took two. I scuffed them up. I put some of that craft colored tissue over top of them and just kind of glued it down to kind of grunge it up. After I took a nail file and just kind of filed off the card a little bit on both sides. And then I punched a hole. I held them together and punched a hole. And then I put a piece of vellum on either side and put this flower in the middle. It's a little hard to see because I have a printed vellum in there, but this would be cute. Like if you wanted to do, say, an Alice in Wonderland journal, you could print out the Mad Hatter or the rabbit on the vellum and just have them show through here, or Alice, obviously, whatever your favorite character is. That would be fun because of the cards. And then I just took the center and I glued those centers together and made a little dangle. And then this can just attach in my journal. So we can attach it. Where do we want to attach it? Let's attach it here for now. I'll probably move it 15 times, but that's all right. You can just attach it there. And then it can dangle on the page. Maybe we'll put it up so that it's not hanging off. Like so. I would probably fix that dangle a little better, but there we go. Okay, so that's all of that. Now, the last thing is, and I love to do this all the time, is I Franken paper vellum with regular paper. And if you're new and you don't know what Franken paper is, it's just like Frankenstein, right? You're putting pieces together, and there's a ton of ways to do this, but this is one of my favorite ways. I take one piece of paper and I tear it and I tear it, and then I stick my vellum in the center of it and I sew it so that I create a new piece of paper. And these are super fun to make envelopes out of, tags out of, so many different ways to use these, but it's just another way to add some see-through, elements and movement, when it's, mine's printed, but if you had some sheer, or I've done this with grid paper, I've printed grid paper onto this and then like text on another and kind of just gave it this collaged look, and that looks fabulous. So this is a fun way, and then I could fold this into, a cool envelope, and then anything that I put inside you could see. But yeah, I really like this idea a lot, and you could use different colors, you could use different papers. I just happened to use this one that I had. By the way, if you guys are a fan of Artie Mays, this is one of her freebies from her Patreon, I believe. And it was for this month, May. So if you are a Patreon and you haven't gotten it, go get it. This set is beautiful. It's not just this. There's a bunch of stuff in here, some tags and stuff. And if you don't know who Artie Mays is, you definitely want to look her up on YouTube. Fabulous, fabulous creator. And yeah, it's ARTEMAZE, I believe. And these papers were from her. And this was just a dictionary page that I printed onto the vellum. And then I just did some sewing. But again, if you didn't want to sew, you could just glue them in and that would be fine. And it would hold up fine. The vellum actually glues really well. I didn't even catch it with the sewing, but that's okay. I can glue it. or just add some washi on this side. But you can see how it looks on the other side. It's just kind of torn and then sewn in. I wanted to get that owl in there and I wanted to get that birdie, so that's why I did what I did. But yeah, all right guys, so that's it. That's a bunch of ways that you can use vellum, and I hope that you'll try them, and I hope that vellum is a little less intimidating. And again, if you don't have vellum, just use tracing paper or the inside of those cereal boxes and bring these elements into your journal. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here and you like stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope I will see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye!